Hi, welcome to EDSC 551. My name is Professor Bobo, and I am your instructor for this course. It is Legal and Ethical Issues for School Counselors. This course will begin to discuss legal and ethical practices and principles for school counselors. The emphasis will be placed on legal and ethical issues school counselors will encounter with their diverse populations, such as the students with disabilities, the IDEA Act, the individual education programs, the IEPs, 504 plans, medication, mediation, consulting, collaboration, due process, confidentiality laws, family and student rights, counseling code of ethics, and ethical and ethics and at the federal and state laws. Our book for this semester, this 8-week term, is going to be, let me share my screen with you, is the School Counseling Principles, Ethics, and Laws, the 4th edition, written by Dr. Carol Stone. So you'll be purchasing this book, and it is the 4th edition. Again, School Counseling Principles of Ethics and Law. All right. During this welcome video, I'll be going over our assignments as well as a couple of things that you can find on the board. So this is my version. This is not your student view. I have a few more extra session areas, but I just want to kind of brief you to what you should be focusing on. When you start here, you're going to see the welcome video will be placed here. You have the syllabus in this area. You have additional resources for the program that are in the other areas. It is required that you get a publication manual of the American Psychology Association 7th edition. And here's your library information if you need it, the writing studio, as well as other APA resources when writing your papers. As you scroll down, you'll see all the different weeks. On each week, I have the overview and the dates placed here. If you look at your week and go through your week, you will see by pressing this button, next, you can get all the way through your weeks. Here's for week 1, you'll be reading chapters 1 and 2, and then also looking at the newest ethical standards that were rewritten in 2022. Also, we'll talk about the role of a school counselor. And then you'll continue to scroll through to get to the ending. We'll meet on Tuesday for our first live session. Just remembering that we will overlap with summer 1. So your 8th week, which is usually a week that you would not be meeting, you will be meeting with me because that is week 1 for our summer 2 term. I'll be sending out an email just as a reminder because I will go over some important information, and I wanted to make sure that everybody is available on that day. Next, you have your discussion board topics that are due every Thursday. And the initial is due Thursday, and you need to respond to 2 peers by Sunday evening. This is consistent with all of the other courses in the program. On the last week, you'll need to make sure that you do your initial plus 2 responses by Friday of that last 8th week. Again, that's for week 8 only. All right, and then after your discussion board, as you can see, then you would move into week 2, right? The holiday happens to fall during a week where we will not be meeting. So for us, the holiday will not affect us during this term. Next, I want to go into our different assignments and the when they are due. So for our first assignment, we have um, it's called It is called Ethical and Professionalism for School Counselors. And this assignment is due week 2. So this assignment again is due week 2. So you're going to make sure that you do the weekly readings and do a NYC free training on legal and ethical issues for school counselors. There are also 3 additional readings on the assignment page, legal and ethical tips, ASCA ethical standards for school counselors, and the role for school counselors. After you have completed all of those readings and other materials, you're going to explore in greater depth on legal and ethical issues. So you're going to respond to the questions that are on the assignment page. You're going to respond to what does professionalism mean to you? What ethical challenges will you face as a school counselor? Discuss the impacts of at least one idea from Dr. Stone's video that was significant to you as a future counselor. You're going to talk about cyberspace and ethics. Do you have a social media page or a Facebook or any type of social media? And what does it say about you? And then comment on your personal views of the values of the use of social media as a resource for school counselors. Please make sure that this is APA format. That means that with the APA format, use the school APA format that has been the template that is in the resource area, and you will have the length of this particular assignment is 3 to 4 pages. Please also review the rubric, as I will be using the rubric to grade your assignment. If you forget to include a question or something that is not addressed in your assignment, then points will be deducted. Assignment number 2 is due week 3. So this is a personal and professional views on the LGBTQ plus issues. So there are 3 videos associated with this particular assignment. It is asking you to watch all 3 of the videos. And then after completing your reading and views of the videos, consider your view of the LGBTQ plus population, your personal biases, beliefs about sex orientation, human cost to transgender students, and the impact of on school campuses, policies, and confidentiality for transgender students. Then develop a well-written narrative using the APA guidelines and citations to support your thinking. You do not have to address all of the above in the responses, but take 1 or 2 of the themes and develop further into your thinking. So, of course, I talked about 4 different areas on this particular assignment. What they want you to do is select one thing and then write a well-developed narrative on that theme. In that narrative, you're going to include the questions: what new learning or change has occurred as for you on these issues? How do you reconcile personal, religious, professional, and values for future counseling and dealing with these issues? Include at least one idea or from the videos to reflect upon in your narrative and how it impacts school counseling, and comment on these issues if you have currently prevalent at your school or work location. This assignment is also 3 to 4 pages long. So in you'll take one theme and then answer all of those questions as it pertains to the theme. Okay. Your assignment number 3 is due week 5. All right. And this is our historically underserved students. Okay. And we're going to choose one of the following historically underserved groups of students, either the special needs population, English language learners, undocumented youth, racial and ethnic minorities, foster youth, homeless youth, socially economically disadvantaged, or the LGBTQ plus youth. All right. And you're going to use a PowerPoint or a Google slide to give a 5 to 7 minute presentation describing 2 laws related to those 2 students of your chosen group. Now, this assignment is a presentation and is required that you present during our week 5 live session. So this is important that you are available for a week 5 session. This is summer 2, so we do know that people have plans. In that event, you would need to reach out to me prior to the assignment being due so that we can meet individually and come up with a plan so that you turn in your PowerPoint as well as present your PowerPoint in a timely fashion. Okay. So please make sure that you contact me if you aren't available on that week 5, and make sure that your assignment is turned in. There are points that are part of the presentation. So if you do the assignment without the presentation, then you lose some points. All right. So this is important that you contact me so that we can make arrangements for you to be able to present your assignment. All right. During this presentation, the questions that you will briefly address through your PowerPoint is describe the current issues or challenges faced by students that of the group that you chose of your underserved group. Describe 2 mental health related and or educationally related laws which are still in effect today, which have an impact in today's students in choosing that historically underserved group. And how do these laws affect students' mental health or educational functioning? And how would you apply these laws as a school counselor? So all of those thoughts should be included in your PowerPoint slide. Now, the slide needs to remain at 5 to 7 minutes. I don't want anyone to feel rushed. However, when we have anywhere from 10 to 12 students, it is important that you keep your presentation to 5 to 6 minutes so that we have ample time during that week 5 live session to address everyone. All right. So that everybody has an opportunity and we don't go over our meeting time. I'd like to get started right away with that. So that's really important. And again, your slides should be approximately there should be about approximately 7 to 10 slides as well. Remember, your slides are more graphic and with a couple of key points, and then you would be presenting. So try not to use as many words on your slide. Your presentation is where you would do your descriptives and definitions of the information. And you'd be using your PowerPoint as your guide, as your visual effectiveness. Okay. And your assignment number 4, which is freedom of expression, and it is due week 7. Freedom of expression due week 7. So you're going to explain students' freedom of expression as it legally applies to the school setting. What can students say or do or not say or do in terms of verbal speech on campus, written assignments on campus, clothing on campus, off-campus texting, and social media points. You're going to write a 2 to 3 page paper discussing the students' rights in each of the 4 areas. Specifically mention at least one law to each of the 4 areas. In the description, discuss one difficult or challenging that involves the 4 chosen laws as it relates to school counselors, and please include specific strategies you would use to maintain compliance with each law and apply as a school counselor on a high school campus. So this is important that we're looking at the age of the high school students. And so your conversation should reflect students of that age group, all right? Our final assignment, which is our signature assignment, and remembering that if you are unable to complete the signature assignment, that is a automatic F in the course. So this is important as you are planning, because it is summer too, and we do have vacations, that you are able to complete the signature assignment. All right. This signature assignment is due week 8. And it is due on Friday of week 8 because I submit my grades by Sunday on week 8. So this again is a reminder that it needs to be due no later than Friday. If you look at the due date, it says Wednesday. So you do have some embedded time in there just in case something goes wrong on Wednesday. So the actual due date is Wednesday of week 8. And then if there's something that goes wrong or you have some technical difficulties, you would be able to still complete this assignment in enough time to get it done by Friday. All right. So this signature assignment is an assignment that best displays the knowledge and skills that are essential to the objectives of this course. So what you're going to do is you're going to select and analyze one relevant theme and related credible court case to demonstrate a comprehensive understanding of ethical and legal issues present in school counseling. So our book is divided up into different topic areas: confidentiality. Let me go back to it. It is confidentiality, professionalism, cyberspace, family educational rights and privacy, FERPA, obligations to the court, individual and group counseling, sexually active students, the LGBTQ plus community, sexual harassment, violent and criminal activities. So these are all the things that are represented in our book. And there are several court cases that are also represented in the book. So you are going to select one of the themes, course topics, or issues from the text that you study, except freedom of expression, which isn't one of the ones that was mostly covered in the book. And you're going to analyze 3 relevant court cases from literature reviews. So in my future instructional videos, I will show you how to research and find some court cases, right? And then you're going to the 3 relevant court cases must be selected from sources other than our textbook. So we're going to Google those sources, trying not to copy any of the court cases that are already referenced in our textbook, all right? You're going to resource that can be done through the CUI. This can be done through the CUI library and other credible internet resources, all right? So what you're going to do is do an analysis on the court cases. Now, in APA format, you are going to make sure that you have all of these headings. It is important that you have the headings and subheadings when doing your APA format. All right, so you're going to have an abstract this time, all right? This is the normal APA format. I know that the template that you've been using doesn't include the abstract. In this one, you're going to have an abstract and you're going to summarize the primary legal and ethical issues and outcomes of your court case. It's a brief summary of your paper that immediately follows your title page and should not be more than 100 to 250 words. All right. Next, in the content of the paper, you're going to have the purpose. You're going to describe why the issue was selected and the reference and personal or professional connections. All right. Then you're going to do the analysis. Now, it's important to remember that the analysis is not a summary of the court cases. This happened, that happened in the court case. It is an analysis is the legal and ethical issues that are presented in each of your court case studies. Make sure to that your court case studies is it's not a summary, but it breaks down the reading into smaller parts and examines the structure and detail of the legal and ethical issues. All right. So you're going to answer the questions that are listed there. What is the issue at hand? What is the reasoning behind the issue or the claim? Discuss any relevant research, study, or past current court cases which support or refute the claim of both of the opposing views. And then what are the strengths and weaknesses of both the opposing arguments? All right. And this is your analysis section. Remember that this is not a summary. This is not a summary of the court cases. All right. Next, the subheading is the findings. Now, in this area, you're going to describe the outcomes of the court cases and the applicability to the themes selected and the current and relevant relevance to school counseling. So if you had 3 cases on confidentiality, 2 win, 1 doesn't, why? Okay, so why did the first 2 win and the last one didn't? Why was it overturned or not overturned? What happened? What were the themes? That's what you're going to be, putting into the findings. All right. And then finally, the reflection, which is to reflect on how these court cases impacted your understanding and practice as a school counselor. And the conclusion, describe new learning that has occurred as a result of this analysis. All right. And so your paper should be approximately 4 to 5 pages long. Again, in my upcoming instructor videos, I will be showing you how to utilize the CUI library and find court cases, as well as you can use other credible internet resources. Okay. That concludes the 5 assignments that are due for this summer term. Again, I look forward to seeing you week 1, 3, 5, and 7. Remember, week 5 is the most important week because a presentation is required during that time. If you're unable to be there for that time, please reach out to me as soon as possible. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.